Welcome to the Spalding Brothers show. With myself, Wes Spalding, my twin brother, Wyatt Spalding. We are more organized this time. We are focusing on a target instead of talking randomly, which we probably still will do. But we are going to talk about the NBA draft on this podcast, and our podcast in general is going to go more sports focused, more of a sports podcast, mainly basketball and tennis, some of the best court sports. Sorry, pickleball fans, you're left out of this one, mainly because we don't play pickleball. We do for fun, but not competitively.
Not competitively. We don't know
Not
about
yet.
it.
Maybe when we hit 70, that's when we're going to shine. That's when
We'll,
I'm shining.
we'll still be playing tennis.
Who knows? Could be 40. But tennis is this era, mainly for you, Wyatt. I haven't really picked it up yet. But anyway, that was the ramble. Back to the main focus, which is the NBA draft. We're going to go over some picks that we think are going to be picks that pan out, picks that we think are the best, kind of some hidden gems. My two picks are top 15 guys. So I don't know if you call them hidden gems or just like smart decisions. We might later in the show go through the list and why you're probably better at picking out maybe like a second rounder that's going to come out and shine, you think so. But yeah, Wyatt, I'll let you kick it off first. What do you think about the NBA draft? I mean, obviously, Cooper Flag, number one overall. If you really think about it, like he should be entering college right now, which is kind of crazy to think about because he skipped his last year of high school, right?
Yeah, so what happened was sorry, I'm just getting my notes straight. Uh he went to high school and won like a state championship with his twin brother, and I want to say another brother was on there maybe too. But anyway, with his twin brother. Then like that's like their junior year, I guess. And so he like reclassified. So the year he's supposed to be a senior, he goes to Duke. So his twin brother is still a senior in high school while he's playing at Duke. And now his twin brother is gonna go play at Maine while he's going in his first year of the NBA. Like he just turned 18 at Duke, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's insane. He's kind of like he kind of like hacked the system and going pro state straight out of high school. Like his
Yeah.
last year of high school is technically college.
Yeah, but like a lot of guys do that too. Like
Oh, they
they'll
do?
go like reclassify all the time, especially like with NIL now. And so a lot
Ah,
of guys will reclassify. And I mean, he was so, I mean, think about it. He was the number one prospect coming out of high school. Lived up to that hype. Then he was the number one player in college basketball. Lived up to that hype. Now he's he was the number one draft pick. I mean, he's just kind of crazy. And he's got a good all around game.
mhm.
So, I mean, he's got passing, shooting. He wasn't, we can do like one episode later on his stats or whatever, but I know like 3-point shooting wasn't his strong suit, but he did get better throughout the season. He was really good about getting his teammates involved. I mean, some of the comps they have was like he's a Jason Tatum. I think he's kind of like a Magic Johnson, honestly.
Dang.
So
Why do you think that?
I just think if he works on his ball handling more, which his ball handling was pretty good, I thought for college, he like will be like LeBron and run the point someday
Yeah,
because
I
he
could see
can
that.
just get guys open. And he was really good at like when they would feed him the ball in the paint, like if guys would cut back door or he would see a guy out on the wing, he'd get it open to him. He was really good at like just moving the ball or seeing the guy for the extra pass. So he'd pass the guy in the corner, and then they'd pass it to the guy at the wing, and then someone make a three. Like he was just really good at seeing that. Like, oh, if I pass to this guy, they don't pass to that guy, and they'll make a three.
Do you
So,
think they'll play him at the point with Kyrie Irving out? Because who would be the backup then for Kyrie?
oh, I don't really follow the Mavs, but you look that up. Well, I think they will not because I think they will uh play him more of like the post or shooting forward, honestly. And because you got Anthony Davis, Anthony Davis could play the five or the four. Kind of depends like what kind of lineup they got in. And I think that he'll just play probably down low more in the first year. They might have him bring up the ball a little bit, but I think for his rookie year, they're just gonna work on him like trying to become a scorer. And they got Derek Lively, who also went to Duke on the team too. And like think about it, if you got him in there. at the 4, Lively at the 4, Davis at the 5, Cooper at the 3, and I can't think of who would play. Oh, with the got Clay Thompson on the team, so he'll play like the 2 or the 3,
He'll
depending
probably
on the
play the
lineup.
two.
Yeah, like
When do
I
they
don't
usually
know if
put
this
him
would
at
be
the
the
three?
lineup, but
Well,
if
they put
Lively,
him at the three, but D'Angelo Russell, they got him on the team now, so now
oh yeah,
but he could play it too.
yeah, it's true too.
I think put him at the two because he's kind of like. I mean, I feel like he's more of a shooting point guard. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
but
he's a scorer. But I could definitely see them playing around with Cooper Flag around the point. That'd be crazy though. Think like you're 18, 19, and you're playing with some of the best players. You know, Kyrie Irving obviously hurt, but then Anthony Davis comes back, and you're like around the point for that team. That's crazy just to even think about. But
yeah,
other guys have been saying his competitiveness is like the greats, which I feel like is why he's going to be great. I feel like you've called it with some other past number one picks and like their attitude or like their mentality and just never panned out. I mean,
yeah.
we can name like players like Ben Simmons was really good, but he wasn't like I
He
don't know. He
couldn't
just didn't have
shoot.
this, yeah. But I feel like he didn't have the same. Bitch is who's super competitive, but the same. Like it's just like a different mentality that some of those top guys have that are going to be great. And I don't know, something about Cooper Flag just tells me that he's got it.
Well, he's got a good mid range.
Yeah, he
It's
does.
not like
He's creative in the mid range,
yeah, it's not like he can't just like shoot from the elbow and the into the paint. Like he can shoot deep twos and all
and it's
that.
coming
But
back. The
yeah,
mid range game's coming back.
yeah,
SGA.
oh yeah,
Man, you were saying the other day. You said two guys who were. Well, I mean, you could say even Jokic. Like
yeah,
he's a mid range guy. He's not like chucking threes. He's like down low to moves, but he's also um, you know out on the elbow making things happen, whether it's assist or scoring.
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
So, but we'll get into Cooper Flag is obvious, the obvious one. So we made a rule we couldn't. We talked about him anyway, but just stating the
yeah.
obvious. Cooper
We were like, we're
Flag.
not going to talk about Cooper Flag.
We cannot talk about Cooper Flag here.
Sorry,
Okay,
I
number
set
one
you up.
pick. And now we'll go into like the three guys that we think will do good. And I just like to say this is what's fun about any draft. It's like nobody knows shit. It doesn't matter. I enjoy like the pre-draft shows more than the actual drafts because it's just fun to see what people think. And then you're just like, I kind of hope this guy's like super wrong. Like if they think a player's gonna be good or great, and it's like us, like we look back 10 years from now, like wow, we were geniuses, we got that right, or like ugh, we picked that guy. Ooh, wow, that was bad. It just depends. But positive about these guys is like they they're the 1% that are gonna play in the pros, so it's
Yeah,
not all bad.
and they're getting paid for
Yeah, you're
being a
getting
draft
paid
pick.
to play basketball, like
I
you
mean,
and
they're getting
I.
you paid big money when you get drafted. So
Yeah. I mean, like you and I will go up there like, hey, what do you do? I work here. I work here. These guys will be like, what do you do? I play basketball. That's pretty cool. Is that you
yeah,
play. So, all right. So the first one that I'm going to get into is the point guard from Oklahoma, Jeremiah Fears. He was scored 70 points a game, 4 assists a game, 4 rebounds. Now, I didn't watch a lot of him because Oklahoma only won 6 games total. They went 12-6 in the SEC. So they weren't very good. So they weren't really a team to watch. But I watched him play against Kentucky where they lost, but he dropped like 28 points, shot 10 for 22 from the field, 2 for 11 from threes. His 3-point percentage is only like 28%. That was like kind of a negative. They looked at him was like he's really good at distribute at you know going to the paint and attacking the basket. I think he's really shifty and really good at like what's it called? Like pace of the ball. Like you go on full speed, but then you stop, kind of wait a second, read the floor, and then attack. And he's really good at that. He did have a game against Michigan where he dropped 30 points, 8 for 12 from the field, 3 for 4 from the 3-point line, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. He had 4 fouls. So I watched him a little bit, but not much. But when I like watched that Kentucky game, I'm like, who is this guy? And I just loved his how he played and like his mindset. Like he did a couple interviews I saw. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna be the best player in the draft, or I'm gonna remember everyone that was picked ahead of me. And he went number. I don't know. Did I say what number he went?
No, he went
Okay, he went number
7.
7. So yeah, I have it down here. So he went number 7 to New Orleans, which I'm kind of pumped because kind of do a different player real quick, but it goes with the draft. I'm I will stick by Zion no matter how bad or good he does. Because like, look, I was for him, and I got to stick by him even if he doesn't do good. But let's face it, Zion has not really panned out like everyone thought he would. So, uh, him going to the Pelicans, I think, is going to be a key factor. I've heard some things like he's not. I mean, average 4 assists. I think if you average like 5 or more, that's like really good because that's really hard. Honestly, you're depending on somebody else to make the shot,
Hmm.
and so they said like he sometimes would maybe not make the right pass and always look to score instead of distribute the ball. But hey, that's what the NBA is supposed to teach you. They're supposed to teach you how to play within the system of the NBA or whatever the team wants. And
Yeah, I
I,
feel like a cop out is they say all these guys need better about decision making. I'm like, they're all like 18 to 20, 21 years old. Of course, they're gonna need to be
yeah,
better at decision making.
and this guy's a
And
fresh.
also, we are talking about reclassified. Looks like Fears also reclassified. So he
Yeah,
was a 17-year-old going into Oklahoma. So what is he? He's 18 going to the NBA. They
exactly.
say like his weakness is his size a little bit. He's only like 6'3", 180, uh, which seems big to the average person, but NBA
Yeah,
that is a small guard. But with his ball handling skills, quickness, ability to score, yeah, I think he will have a good shot. I haven't researched him as much as you have, Wyatt, and I'm not surprised that you picked him with him probably being one of the smaller players in the draft as well.
but dude, like, okay, like I said, Oklahoma was not like they made the tournament because the SEC was so strong.
Yeah.
Like they really were not a good team in the conference play, but I think they went like I don't remember what they did in the non-conference, but in SEC it was like they were doing good and then went downhill.
Mm.
But I didn't watch, like I said, didn't watch much of him until I saw him play Kentucky, and I was like, all right, I need to watch more Oklahoma, man. Even though they're not the strongest team in the SEC, I gotta watch Fears. Like he is just so explosive, and he's got. I thought he's one of the better athletes in the class in this draft class, and just like he's got that dog in him. Like I'm taking over. I don't care, like what my size is or what people think my weaknesses is. Give me the ball. So I'm hoping he pans out and gets the Pelicans to be a playoff team. Would be nice. So, and then my other guy, which I think you also picked him, so we could talk about him together. Uh,
Mm.
Derek Queen from Maryland, 6'10", average 16 and a half points per game at Maryland, 9 rebounds, shot 52% from the field. They say he's a good passer, but what I found when I looked, he averaged like 1 assist or 2 assists a game. But actually, that's probably pretty good for a big guy because they're always looking for him to score. So he's the 13th pick in the draft by the Hawks, but got traded to New Orleans, which like there was this big thing that why would you like if you know they're gonna get traded, just give them the hat that they're gonna get traded to, not the team that picked them. Because now he has this draft pick with a team he's not even gonna play for at the moment. I mean, unless his career like goes for very long, he ends up playing for the Hawks someday. But still, it's like that kind of sucks. Like, oh, what team did you get drafted by? Uh, or what team do you play for? I play for the Pelicans, but I got drafted by the Hawks and was part of the organization for like 30 seconds and then they traded me. So that kind of sucks. But
Yeah.
like how hard is it to switch
Yeah, it
out
makes no
that?
sense to do that.
Yeah. But the big thing about him was like, I think I watched a good amount of Maryland because the Big Ten is probably my favorite basketball conference, no matter if they're the best conference or second or third of the year. And he's got really good footwork in the paint. I think he's pretty patient. Had a nice like kind of pump fake, waits and then goes up, and then he's like he can't really shoot past the elbow, but he didn't really need to. They could just feed him inside, and he was really good at like pivoting, pivoting both ways, pump faking, giving it time, letting the play develop, and going up for the shot. I just think
Mm.
like he's one of the best players out there in the draft. His coach said if he was European and white, they'd be talking about him more because of his like athleticism. He could run the floor. He would be the lead for like fast breaks. He would block a shot, then run the floor, and they'd give it to him like mid stride, and he'd take 2 steps and dunk it. And so he's very athletic. I think
Yeah, I
for a
mean
big
his
man.
footwork's really good too.
Yeah. He's got, I mean, you can tell when a big guy has really good footwork and and it's because it's not rushed. It seemed like he would take his time and the game would slow down for him almost. Like, you're like, it looks like he's not even moving, but he's like waiting for the play to develop or like when he pump fakes, he's just not like going up right away. He's actually like giving it a second and going up. And I think like too, like, I think he's athletic, but so like a negative against him was like he wasn't that athletic. And I was like, so like I'm not saying he's gonna be this, but I was thinking, well, what about Jokic? He wasn't athletic at all. Like there's no way this guy should be good, but he is Jokic. And I'm not saying that Queen will be Jokic, but like some big guys, they're not like jump out of the building. They're athletic, but it's like their mind's greater than their athleticism, and they're just gonna outwork you and outscore you, no matter what. Doesn't matter how fast they are. And and like I said, his footwork was the key to his game. Because you looked up this guy too, right? He was one of yours.
Yeah. You know what's funny is his teammates called him baby um, uh, Jokic.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that was his nickname. So he's already kind of got that style. And even before I was kind of into him more, it's like he kind of reminds me of Rudolph from the Grizzlies back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was
and
good.
like just footwork, gets people off balance. Like, 'cause, yeah, if you're in the post, if you have good footwork, good timing, like look at the Joker, look at Luca. Like they're not the fastest guys, but they know how to get guys off pace. And like you said, for Fierce too, he's good at changing pace and getting people off balance. SGA gets the foul line because he gets people off balance. So, like basketball, yeah, you want athleticism, but if you don't know how to use your current athleticism to get people in positions, then it's like you're not really utilizing it.
Mm.
Um, but Derek Queen, he's definitely a guy that has that. And you know what caught my eye was I was literally like in a restaurant watching Colorado State in the NCAA tournament, and they're playing Maryland, and
Mm.
then Derek Queen hits the game winner. And I was like, how is this guy like off of like one play? I was like, how's this guy on or just like watching him a little bit. I was like, how's he on Maryland? Like, of all the schools he could have gone to, like, how is he on this team and not like a blue blood school? So, not sure why I picked Maryland. Maybe just like the school, like the coach, had family there, whatever. But I do think he's going to be somebody to look out for because does have the NBA body. He's like 250. Like he's huge and he can move his body. If you can keep the body weight on and stay in shape, that is a game changer as well. And that's where guys that don't know how to change pace and use their weight and their footwork to get people off balance, it's gonna cause some problems. And they just try to muscle them down and use their athleticism. So I think Derek Queen is definitely going to have that key factor going into his rookie season.
And you
And
know that.
him and Spears, I think it looks like they got Jordan Poole on the Pelicans now.
Mhm.
I just have the roster here. Who all was? I go back to it. Yeah, and then Kevin Looney, he got
Oh, yeah.
switched over because he was on the Warriors for forever, wasn't he?
Yeah. I forgot that they got him. Yeah. So that would be
Yeah.
good.
So I think that was a good move too. And they're kind of building pieces where I don't think it's gonna be this next season, but like 2, 3 years, I think they'll be like at least a playing team, hopefully like a 7 or 8 seed. But who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe first year rookies kind of have a good start and their new additions, especially with Poole now on the team. It's kind of cool
Yeah.
to see Poole. No offense to Wizards, but not on a team that's like bottom. So
The Wizards felt like a overseas team. No one like, oh, that where was that guy? Oh, that guy was on the Wizards? Okay. It's like they just came out of like from another country and they're like, oh, okay. Because no one watches the Wizards. Like nobody. But
I feel like when you go to the Wizards, you kind of get forgotten about a little bit.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like no one watches overseas and the Wizards. The Wizards are like part of overseas. It's like, what are we doing here? We should do
Yeah.
like soccer and like gotta move them up and down. That would be crazy though. Or like do like the G League, so like the best G League team would replace the Wizards.
Hmm.
But yeah, we'll see how the Pelicans do. They got some young blood coming in there. And you know that the NBA, they're gonna bulk clean up. Like they'll be strong
Oh yeah, it's
now.
gonna be like pure muscle.
Yeah. Like
Maybe it gets in the weight room. Like some guys get to the NBA, they don't put in the work, but
right.
just from interviews that he's done, he seems like kind of like a little chip on his shoulder. He believes he's better than everybody else, which every other player says. But then there's guys you're like, no, he like legit knows that he's better
Yeah.
than everybody
So
else.
I think these guys will work well together and it'll be fun to watch them in summer league. So
Yeah.
and then the third guy that I had that everyone kind of knows was hang on here. I gotta find it. There we go. Ace Bailey, who went to the Jazz. I just got to say, like, I think he was one of, if not the best, but one of the most athletic guys in the draft. And uh I just want to talk to him about him because it's like he was trying to decide where he went. It's like, dude, you're going to the NBA. Just be happy with whatever team. I know it's gonna suck, like, because you're going to like a team that sucks and you're used to winning, but just deal with it. But he was good at Rutgers. He averaged 17 and a half a game, had 7 rebounds. Didn't even work out for the Jazz. That was crazy. He didn't even work out for the Jazz, and they still took him. So we'll see how that all goes. I think like uh a guy that you have down, they ended up playing each other in like the summer leagues before the main summer league in Vegas. So we'll get to that in a second. But he had gone up and he didn't Ace Bailey scored like 8 points. And so it wasn't a great start, but I think too he's gotta work on his shooting. Wasn't the best 3-point shooter like in the 30s. And then yeah, I think he's a project, but he could be just so good. I remember like
He's got a
during
smooth stroke. His shot is good.
yeah, and
Like
it's just like
just from the little spits that he did have from the first game, like he can catch it coming off a curl, going away from the basket. Can go, catch and go straight up. Even if he goes off balance, he still can get a good look. You can't really teach that, like that smooth form, that smooth look. So I don't know. I think like you said, he's gonna be a project, and is like a weird way that he came into the league.
yeah,
He probably had some strategy or reason for that, but it will all tell time on the court. Um,
yeah,
just
which
kind
like
of seeing how he produces and plays, and you think he'll be in the starting lineup right away?
yeah, I think so because they were saying like he's the guy like you want averaging over 15 points a game. Like
Hmm.
how could you not love that? Like oh they want me to have the ball.
Yeah,
Like and I
they want
have
you putting
never
up 15, 20 shots a game.
yeah. And then I got Wendell Carter Jr., the point guard from Florida that won the national championship. He's also
Hmm.
on the team, which I would not be surprised if he panned out more than Ace Bailey. But we'll see what happens.
Why would you
Like,
think that?
just because well one, like as of right now. Just like the attitude of being there. Maybe Ace Bailey's like kind of dramatic, or I think Carter's better outside shot, obviously. So just like overall better game. But like you said, Ace has a nice shot. And it's also like kind of weird how like Rutgers didn't even make the tournament. And Ace Bailey was like he was like the second high recruit coming out of high school and couldn't even get his team to the tournament. But neither did Ben Simmons, but actually that's a bad comparison. Ben Simmons, I don't like he sucks now. But uh yeah, I mean I just am interested to see like what happens in this situation. That he did look happy getting off the plane and being there when he did get there, but it was a whole thing. And I just think like he's just like raw. Like there's so much he could do. And he only has played 1 year at college. And he was just kind of known for like driving the lane, dunking it. Like his dunks are sick, some of them. But
Hmm.
it was just entertaining. I mean, his team wasn't like very good. They were like 500 or just under 500. And but he was like you tuned in to watch Harper and Ace Bailey. So it will be interesting to see what happens and how this all pans out because the Jazz are in a rebuilding seasons and they're not going to be good right away. So we'll see how he handles that. So those are my three that um I think will be really good, or like Ace Bailey could be really good and dramatic too, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, who you got, Wes?
Well, I really had two guys, and that was Derek Queen, who we already talked about. But my number one guy was VJ Edgecombe, and he kind of like proved he, a little glimpse of proving me right the first game in the NBA Summer League where he had 28 and 10. Like you said, he was going up against Ace Bailey. He had some crazy plays. His athleticism, we were just talking about how, if you have the skill like Derek Queen does, and, super athletic still, but, they said that was his weakness. VJ Edgecombe is the other way. He has athleticism that you can't teach. He's a great defender, and I I think that's two reasons why he's going to be great in the league. Is if you're a good defender, and you can make some plays, make some things happen, then you're going to be a guy that people are going to want on your team. And 76ers, obviously have been struggling from this last season. It's going to be a good spark, I think, to the club, getting a young guy in there who, is hungry to prove himself a little bit and bring some energy. And, 76ers could be a good team. They got a squad if they all stay healthy. So it'll be really cool to see him mesh with those guys, with those vets, and how he'll kind of pan out. Be fun to see him the rest of the summer league. And then, I'll go over stats because that's what we do, and that's how you like to lead off your guys. But yeah, he averaged 15 points, 5.6 rebounds, and 2 steals in college. He's from the Bahamas. I thought that was cool. I was like, oh,
Nice.
that's sweet. It's always
Yeah,
cool when you
that
kind of
is
get,
cool.
um, yeah, just got some different countries. We got more Canadians making an impact on the league. Um, Guys from overseas coming in, making an impact, and I think it's just like good for the game overall, globally.
Mhm.
So I thought that was really cool. Obviously, they say it needs a 3-point shot. I feel like if you need a shot and you're going to the NBA, it's like, what are you gonna do with all your free times? Like, you're gonna go work on your shot, hopefully.
Yeah,
Like, I feel
exactly.
like there's not really excuse for being a bad shooter in the NBA if you're, especially if you're a guard or a small forward. And bigs kind of depends on their game, obviously, if they're going to develop that or not. But I wouldn't be worried about him, and just great things about his character and attitude. And yeah, I think he's going to be an exciting guy to watch for sure,
Mhm.
especially coming out of Philadelphia where the fan base is electric all the time. And he'll be definitely giving them some things to cheer about come October.
Dude, listen to this roster. So right now they got Tyrese Maxey, uh, you got Lowry, and then you got Paul George. Uh, you have Joel Embiid. So like they got some dudes, bro. And
Yeah, like I said,
Like
they
the
stay
field,
healthy. I feel
yeah.
like they could be. Let me take a look.
Who's I got here?
All right, where do you think? Where do you think the 76ers? Everybody stays healthy. Where do you think they would end the season
Like
next year?
fourth or
If
fifth,
let's say all their guys healthy.
fourth or fifth, probably. I would
That's
think.
what I was thinking. I was thinking like fifth.
Yeah. So like if you have him coming off the bench, dude, like that would be he could lead him in scoring off the bench. Because if you watch all his highlights, well, not all, but like a lot of what they show, it's like him on the fast break and just throwing it down. Like,
Mm-hmm. I don't want to be ambitious and say he'd get this year, but I think if he's come off the bench year 2, year 3, year 4, I mean, he could be a six man of the year award for sure.
oh yeah, and then they have Jared McCain from Duke who got hurt. He's a shooter. So they have these veterans and these young guys coming in. Like, I don't know how the 76ers cannot be a playoff team, especially in the East. It's the East. It's really weak right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, it'd be exciting. Watch, there's gonna be some guys that we didn't even talk about, like, oh, well, that guy's really good. Like, but it'll be fun to
Oh yeah,
see.
I mean, you could go down the list.
Yeah, I mean, you just don't know. But that's what's fun about the draft. It's like you have no freaking idea who's gonna be good.
Yeah, we need something to talk about until football starts too. So we'll just be making
Exactly.
predictions until
Exactly.
September.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, whose draft picks would you take? Would you take the Pelicans draft picks, or would you take the Jazz draft picks?
I mean, on paper, you'd probably take the Jazz, but I'm going with the Pelicans because I chose those guys. Because the NBA is a different league than college. It's just
Yeah,
different. So I'm going with the Pelicans draft picks. Um, yeah, let's see what happens. Uh, yeah, it would be interesting to see. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the Pelicans were in the contention for the play-in tournament this year. At their best. At their worst, they're like another top
you
10.
think if they kind of reach their ceiling this year, they'll be like 9, 10 seed? I could see that.
Yeah, like 10, 9.
Yeah,
So I don't think they'll be 8 or 7.
that'd be
But
exciting. I'd watch that then.
yeah, me
Like when you see
too.
young teams make the playing games, then it's like, all right, worth watching. But when you see like some team that's always like the Bulls, I'm a Bulls fan, but they're always like the ninth seed. I'm like, gosh, can we like either just get better or get worse so we can get out of
Yeah,
this?
they're like in the worst spot. Like you either want to
They
be
are.
good or bad.
Yeah. We're just
Not
like middle of the pack, middle of the pack, middle of the pack.
mediocre. It's like you
Yeah.
don't want to be mediocre.
No.
But my Celtics are also going up. I mean, they traded Porzingis and I was surprised they traded Holiday. But I'm just like, okay,
Yeah.
well, that's awesome.
Money,
Not
man.
Porzingis, I
Can't meet the cap.
yeah. Porzingis, I was like, oh, they're gonna trade him. Like he's always hurt, and it just was like, what are we doing? But
Yeah, I don't know. I never count the Celtics out though, because sometimes they can put together a
yeah,
core around a couple good guys. That's just like that. The Garden is just like electric. Like it feeds the players that energy and that momentum. Like it's a tough place to play.
dude, watch out for the Celtics at the trade deadline during the season. Like, I'm like, they're gonna make some big move. I think that, like, I don't know what, but I mean, because the season, as long as like they're in the playoff contention, it's like, oh, all we gotta do is make the playoffs,
Yeah,
and we play in the East, so we can go far. But what they like, what the Bucks did to Lillard was gonna that had to suck. But I also heard Lillard didn't want to really be there. Or like, his family's not there, so he tore his
Achilles.
Achilles. Yeah, that was it.
Yep.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that.
Where do you think he's
And
gonna land?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, I don't he doesn't really have to land anywhere till I don't know when he'll be back, but do you remember when he tore it? I don't know when he tore it. Uh,
Let's see.
I want to say it's like March. He won't be back. Let's see if I'm right. I want to say it's the beginning of March he'll be back. He tore it at the end of February of last year or this last season.
He tore it against the Indiana Pacers, April
Mm.
27th. So
Oh,
in
wow,
April,
that's way
really
late.
towards the end of the season.
Dang, so he wouldn't be back to like the is it Achilles injury like a year-long recovery?
September, October, November, December. December, January, it's like 8, 9 months.
Okay, so he'd be
I think
back.
it's 9 months usually.
So he'd be back in February, right?
Yeah, February.
Probably
Still though,
March.
it's a long time without him.
Yeah,
You think he's just gonna be like not signed with the team until he gets back, and then some team's gonna pick him up?
it's possible.
Yeah, I think. Oh man, it'd be fun to see him go. Honestly, to like, I'd be like, hey, go to the Bulls. Let's get something rolling over there. Let's get something happening. But realistically, I don't know. Could you see the Lakers picking him up? I'm always like, the Lakers are always trying to sign like somebody
Big,
that's going to put fans in the seats, somebody that LeBron wants to play with. I could see that happening.
yeah, or like Brad
I don't know.
Stevens.
I don't know if they could keep
Yeah,
all those guys on the same like salary cap.
or Brad Stevens, he's always making big moves.
Yeah.
Those Celtics are like trying to think here would be what team is like big on making moves? I don't even know. Like
Or
I don't know
who's
why.
desperate for a point guard?
The Clippers owner is always trying to make big moves. That guy's like really into it.
Or
So,
those T Wolves?
ooh, that would be good.
Yeah,
Him and
that'll take
Ant.
some heat off of Edwards.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't get KD, that's for sure. So that sucked. Which some people didn't think that would fit, but I thought KD would have fit fine in the Timberwolves.
Is Randall going to re-sign with the Timberwolves?
Uh, I think so. I haven't heard anything else. I heard he was because they weren't going to pick up KD, which is funny because they thought he wasn't fitting in at first, and then like once he got past Christmas, he did fine with the Timberwolves.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's a dog. Hey, with New York, I thought the Timberwolves came out more on top. I mean, Towns did play really good in the series,
Yeah.
or in all the series for the Knicks, but just like attitude wise, dude, I would take Randall any day.
Oh yeah. I don't think
No, yeah,
Towns shows up
he did resign.
consistently. What he resigned? Yeah, I was pretty sure he did.
No, yeah, he
So,
resigned 3 years for $100 million deal.
ugh, that's
That's
chunk change.
crazy. Yeah,
Dang,
that's insane.
he's gonna be their best friend.
And they re-signed Nas Reed too.
Oh yeah, I thought they would. Everyone loves Nas. Nas has been there longer than than the stars. Everybody loves Nas.
They really needed him to step up in the series against the Thunder. Like somebody needed to, but
Yeah,
the Thunder defense was, I mean,
they were on
insanely
Edwards,
good.
bro. Like he couldn't get anything in a couple of
It
games.
was like
Like
once he got in the paint with any team, once anyone got in the paint, they were just swarming them. You couldn't
yeah,
like swing it around them for sure.
yeah, for sure, man. All right, well, that's our episode for the day, and we'll be talking more basketball and tennis. They're now onto this podcast. So tune in to the Spalding Brothers show. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and the Wyatt Spalding YouTube channel, Life with Wyatt Spalding. So see ya.
See ya.